can't seem to get it. And in my mind I'm ready. My time's made up, I gotta go. And it's alright if you want to see through your tomorrows, but right now I gotta go. If you want to stay, then you can.
Here's our music serving you some music. I'ma got a brand new funk. Kick down, body for your right. Let's get it on, like we said before. See the brothers for the trouble, hate the busted bubble, cause we rumble.
Let the horn do the do-dang do. Express yourself.
Okay, all right. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's Nate Patterson over here on Express Yourself Live, screwing up because we're at home because of COVID, right? I don't have the timing down packed yet. Always forget to put my microphone on, and you just saw what happened. But it's a work in progress because I'm working from home. But this is the series, How We Fight. Express Yourself Live, How We Fight. This is where we bring in people off of Facebook. Everybody that has an opinion, I want you to come here and state your opinion, okay? And so that way we can know where everybody stands later on. We're going to bring people into the studio. We're going to have a panel discussion. We're going to hash this out because our thoughts are everywhere, okay? And I firmly believe we all should be on the same page. Okay, so today I got a hometown guest all the way from Florida. Okay, me and this brother grew up in the same project. Mr. Wayne Suge Wells. A lot of y'all know him from Facebook. All right. Welcome to the show, Mr. Wells. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, my brother. Doing all right.
All right. We got that delay going on. Just let my audience know. We have a slight delay because he's down there in Florida and I'm up here in Massachusetts. Hey, man, you missed the snow yet?
No.
He don't miss the snow, man. He be putting on those nice pictures of all the, the good weather in Florida. I'd be heated up here in the wintertime, I got to tell you. Okay, so, Wayne, tell us something about yourself before we get started, before we get into the meat of what we're here for. Tell the audience something about yourself and let them know who you are.
My name's Wayne Wells. Most of y'all know me. Down here they call me Suge. I picked up that nickname. I live in West Palm Beach, Florida. From Springfield, Mass. Yeah, I pretty much grew up in the Ville. Yeah, I know what the Ville is. I also grew up in Duggan. I was up there out there in the North and Duggan Project. I want to shout them out too. But yeah, the Ville was my home. That's where family was. That's where, the people was. My longtime friends who were still friends to this day. I'm down here in Florida, married, a couple of kids, working. That's pretty much it, and everything else about me, you guys already know, because it's all over Facebook. I don't have nothing to hide, so.
On Facebook, though, you come off as the voice of reason. Because, I'm a hothead. So a lot of times I'm going to get Wayne, and I'm going to let him, because he going to agree with me. Nah, Nate, you being a jerk. But, I appreciate that, man, because, I take that, man, because a lot of times, and I ain't saying some, a lot of times I am, because I be heated. You know what I mean? I'm an Aries, and I'm every bit of an Aries, so I let it out. Then the voice of reason comes in, and, everything's good from that point. The only problem I got with this guy, this over here, this guy, tell him who your team is, man. Who's your squad?
If we talk football, of course I'm a Steelers fan. A Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I mean, every year you sing a Stairway to Seven, brother. We caught y'all. We caught you. Hell no! I told you, no, that's banned. Okay, we're gonna go to commercial break. All right. Okay, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it, right? We got two topics to discuss. We're gonna pick the first one. First one, okay, the coronavirus. Okay, we start off with your general thoughts about the coronavirus, and then we'll get into the specifics. Go ahead, man.
I mean, my general thoughts about the virus, it's something that got leaked out that wasn't supposed to. I firmly believe it's all about chemical warfare, biological warfare with the military. If there's something, I actually believe that it was released purposely, thinking that they can control it and see how much, I think they released it purposely. They thought they might have had a virus, a vaccine for it. I think they was seeing how far they can control it. I think it just got out of hand.
Man, all right, he froze up for a second. Remember, he's in Florida. Okay, go ahead.
No, I just think, like I said, I think, it was released. Like I said, it was purposely released. I think they thought they could control it and, keep it under wraps, but it got way out of hand.
It did.
And even as we speak now, I think it's evolving.
So we're not that far apart. We're not that far apart on it, because I believe almost the same thing. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I mean, most viruses out here are military controlled. It was a way of, defeating the army, so to speak. You know what I mean?
The reason I like
it's just like anything else, like chemical warfare with napalm in Vietnam.
Right.
And all stuff like that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
You see, the reason I giggled because I came across a little information on the internet, right? The chemtrails. Y'all still got the chemtrails way up there in the sky every morning.
The what?
The chemtrails in the sky look like crop dusters, man.
Oh yeah. Well, I haven't seen that movie.
See, well, when I was in Atlanta, right? When I first started seeing them, man. Like every day, I'm taking my granddaughter to school, and I come outside, I'm like, aliens came, man. They left tracks all over the sky. I get up here, I see the same thing, man. And this went on for roughly about a 5-year period. Now, fast forward to today, right? Because I used to always say, man, they spraying something in the sky, right? But I found out that they submitted to the Air Force, right? When the Air Force is looking for a way to defeat a non-lethal weapon to defeat the enemy, right? They came out with the gay bomb. And the gay bomb they said it sprayed the air, it sprayed it in the sky. Brother, you know what I mean? And you can't deny, man, that over the past 5 years, man, the gay community has exploded. You know what I mean? Exploded. Now, that many people can't be coming out the closet. The closet is not that big.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I ain't gonna say nothing about the gay community at all.
Yeah,
who they are. But one thing, what was you saying about the sky thing? I have something similar with that, and with the so-called it's called mosquito control this summer.
You gotta speak up.
They go around and spray. Every summer they go around spraying stuff and planes for the control the mosquito population.
Yeah.
Okay, my question, what's in that? We have no idea. And then every year this happens, and it seems like every year we got a new virus out here. H1N1. All this stuff. There's always something new that hits here. And it's like, where's it coming from? And then you got certain things like crop dusting, the mosquito control, and they're spraying over this country. They're not, they're spraying over everything.
You're right.
It's not like it's not missing humans. If you're outside and they're spraying, you're underneath this.
See, we're gonna
So I mean.
We're gonna revisit that. We're gonna revisit that right in the next topic. I guarantee you, it's gonna come up again, right? But I hated to cut you off, but I just wanted to say that. Go ahead and finish.
I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, I firmly believe that, and nobody's going to change my mind. You know, this whole thing with the military, it's a military experiment.
Let me ask you.
And a lot of it is.
Let me ask you a question. Did you see the video Plandemic?
No, I did not.
Oh my God, man. Okay, I'm gonna let you finish your thought, and then I'm gonna roll something by you.
No, go ahead. I finished my thought. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically in Plandemic, they're saying this. Okay, they're saying exactly what you're saying. All right, about the crop dusters and whatnot. That was a small part of the video, but they did mention that, and it's connected. And I thought that was a huge red flag, right? But the lady in Plandemic was destroyed by Dr. Fauci. And Fauci, man, see, let me put this in perspective, and then you tell me your thoughts, right? Because everybody don't agree with me on this. The first time I heard Dr. Fauci speak, red flags went up, huge red flags. I just didn't get a good feel from him like everybody else did. So I kept watching him, and I kept trying to get with what he was saying, but you know, too many red flags. So I researched this man. Okay, he worked for Gates. Okay, he was promoted to his position by Bill Gates. He received a big, huge, I don't know what they call it, man, when they fund your project or whatever, from Gates, right? He's Gates's boy, hands down, period, right? And that just spoke volumes to me. And none of that came off the, I hate to say the pulpit or the microphone wherever he was speaking. And secondly, you can speak to this also, is that in the beginning, right, when this virus started, and they started, everybody's dying, man. There's a lot of people dying. The reporters, as well as me and a lot of other people, well, what's the demographical breakdown of the dead? They evaded that question for months. They evaded it for months. And come to find out that we, black and brown people, are 70% of the total death rate across this nation from COVID, and 70% in almost every major city where we have a large population. Go ahead and speak to that.
Well, this so-called death rate of African Americans, you know, that may be true. I don't know the exact numbers on that. But what I do believe, a lot of the death rate for African Americans because of this virus is due to non-treatment.
Non-treatment?
Yeah, you know, not being put on the ventilators. You know, not being seen promptly like other people.
What?
And that's a big issue for me, and I've read several things about that. And yeah, excuse me if I'm trying to express myself, you know, the good way here. But, you know, we just don't get the same treatment medically as our peers.
You're right. But here's something to think about. The lady in Plandemic said, what you go on the ventilator, you ain't coming off. She said the ventilator is a death sentence. I seen some people come off the ventilator, yes. But very few people do.
That may be true, but I don't completely believe that myself. Because I know, I have it in my heart, in my head, that if me and one of my peers walk to the hospital the same day, and there's only one ventilator there, and both of us need it, who do you think gets it?
Well, it depends on your skin color, brother. That's where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that would explain the rise, and you know, reason why we're dying more than they are.
Well, look.
Not get the treatment like they are.
Also, look at the characteristics of COVID-19 and what the virus actually attacks. If you look at the things that it thrives on, they are black-specific ailments. Now, to validate that statement, I'm going to say this, and I didn't cue this video up, but I do have a couple of videos out there. Anybody want to go find? I did 3 videos on COVID when this thing first started out, and this video is in 2 of those videos. There was a video, as a matter of fact, a white pastor from Florida. I'm trying to remember if I shared this with you a while back or not. I saw it roughly about 5 years ago on Facebook, but it's still on Facebook floating around. Now, this guy, all white congregation, he was speaking to his congregation. It wasn't on no racial tip or nothing like that. He was being informative with his congregation, right? And what he said was, scientists have developed a way to target you by your demographic, each demographic by their DNA, which means that they can make something like COVID or weaponized virus and have it only attack that's what DNA specific. So it'll go around the Chinaman, it'll go around the Puerto Rican, it'll go around the white person, but it will kill you. And all y'all drink the same Kool-Aid.
I don't happen to believe that. I don't happen to believe that. Diabetes, even though we're primarily, we're primary. There's more African Americans that got diabetes than any other race. Okay, that's fine. But we're not the only race that has it. So I don't believe that at all.
Well,
I don't do that at all.
Okay, because
medically, if you're saying, I can understand them saying if you, like myself, this virus is a little deadly for myself. I have a compromised immune system. I have what they call Crohn's disease. My wife, she has a compromised immune system. She just went through all the cancer treatments. You know what I'm saying? That there has nothing to do with race. It's just, that's just who, it's something that's unfortunate, something I have. So that's hard. That's hard, especially with a disease. I don't happen to believe in that. Now, what I do believe is the control method of disease in certain areas. That I believe in. So if this COVID is going all over the United States, New York is high. We're high. California's high. And it's even more higher in the urban areas. That's because that's what as I say, they're doing that section last. For example, we have hurricanes down here. Everybody know we got hurricanes in Florida. Now, a lot of times when a hurricane comes here, the power goes out. Right?
Right.
So the crews out here trying to put power back on. What neighborhood you think they'll have to get their power?
Do we have to say it? Do we have to answer that? That's common knowledge right now. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So to me, it's the same thing with this virus. Like all the so-called testing. Where the test is at? I can drive to a black neighborhood right now and they ain't gonna test up.
No.
We gotta go someplace else to get tested.
You're right.
I can drive up to a city now that's primarily white and show you 2 or 3 test centers.
Okay, so.
You know what I'm saying? So we're always, our race is always the last, and it's not just us. It's not just us. Everybody don't want to talk about it. People don't want, especially themselves. But it's Spanish people too. It's Spanish people too. The Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, the blacks. It's them too. They don't. Sometimes, I'm not saying all of them, but there are certain members of the same race who don't think they're in the same situation that we're in.
There's a lot of them. I ain't gonna say all of them either, but I'm finding there's a lot more than I thought, right? But then again, within that demographical breakdown, I was told by one of my Hispanic brothers is that they have a breakdown within themselves, sort of like what we have, the light skin versus black skin, and dark skin and all that. They got the same thing over in Puerto Rico, and then you got the Spaniards, who literally hate us. Right. And they think they're lily white. So I don't know. I mean, not to be insulting to that particular demographic, but those are the facts, and that's what I was told, right? So, but getting back to this thing, right? Once again, I'm gonna fall back on that lady who had a career ruined, or that scientist that who had her career ruined by Fauci, because this is what she does. She creates viruses, So I'm gonna believe her. Right, and what she says, and she also said, right, that AIDS was created for the same purpose, but got out of hand. There was a lot of collateral damage and all that. And she said our government knew. Our government knew at that particular time, right, and did nothing. You know what I mean? So,
I agree. I've always agreed with that. I've always agreed with that. And to be honest with you, the AIDS thing, our black males these now are being pushed towards the gay thing. They're being pushed towards it. You turn on TV, you see guys in dresses now, and all this kind of stuff. And, and I have nothing against gay people. If you want to be gay, that's your business. You go right ahead, you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But don't push it towards, you said something before on one of your posts, that you had mentioned, don't shove it in my face.
Right.
And right now, that's exactly what they're doing. They're shoving it right in your face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, it's sad to me. You know, and they got every excuse in the world why this is going on. Oh, ain't no father at home and all that. My dad wasn't at home, and I'm not gay.
Mine either.
By any means.
There you go. But once again, we come back to the chemtrails. See, it comes back. See, I know it sounds far fetched, right? But consider this. You remember the Enquirer newspaper?
Yeah, I do.
Now, the feeling on that when it was out, oh man, they crazy. They got aliens everywhere, and they're just a joke. So years later, we find out that 80 to 90% of the stories in there were actual fact. Actual fact. And then I ran across in my studies about this virus. I was listening to that scientist in Plandemic who also said the same thing about the Enquirer. Those are places where people that have actual truth, who are called or deemed to be crazy, that's the only outlet they have to get their story out, which kind of makes sense to me. It kind of makes sense to me because if the government don't want you to do something, you can't. You're not going to tell a story anywhere, right? But the Enquirer will print anything for $1. You know that. and they did. They've been sued like 1 billion times, but I guess they made their money. I don't know. But see, since I was a kid, I was always so interested in aliens and flying saucers, science fiction, and I loved conspiracies. So today I'm probably considered as conspiracy theorist. Probably why I see a lot of things different from most people. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I just know some things to me just don't make sense. And I've always been that person. If it don't make sense, it's not true.
Yeah, it has to be logical.
And I think some of the alien things, to be honest with you, now I don't believe that we're the only life form in this universe.
Thank you.
I don't believe that. If there's Earth, there's got to be someplace else.
That's right.
I'm not sure if there's little green men. I'm not sure if they're flying around on flying saucers. I'm not even sure if they've even been here before. But the fact remains, there are things on this Earth that they want to blame on aliens that aliens did and had nothing to do with aliens. It was
Give me an example.
The innovative construction and designs of the human mind, not no aliens. Like pyramids and all kinds of stuff. They were blaming, aliens did this, and they got, it was because of the aliens did it. The Sphinx and those are African people who built those.
Well, consider this, right? Consider this, right? I read a graph, for lack of better words. This is a graph on the progress of man from beginning to date, right? 85% of that graph was spent in the infant stage, the one-on-one stage, trying to learn stuff. Basically, man was stupid as hell, okay? But within the last 100 years, we've been on the freaking moon. We got watches like Dick Tracy. We got cars that fly. You know what I mean? We got 5G coming out. You know what I mean? When did we get so smart, man?
Well, we've always been smart. We've always been smart. You have to be some kind of smart to evolve. You know what I mean? If we wasn't smart, we'd still be running around here with clubs and wearing bear claws.
Well, see, I always say, man, because they make a computer and then a month later it's obsolete. It's just too quick for me, right? I always say this is alien technology. So we're on two opposite sides here, right? I always say it's aliens. I don't think man is that smart. I really don't, because if you consider what they say they have, time travel, I don't think we're capable of coming up with that. Not at this stage in our existence.
I mean, time travel is something like that. I don't believe in nothing like that. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. As far as man being smart, yeah, I think man is smart. I think man is even smarter than what we realize. Like you just said, they make a computer, and a month later it's obsolete.
Yeah.
The fact remains, they have it. Okay, we got a cell phone. We got cameras in them now. When they first come out, there was no cameras. They had technology to do it then, but it was about a cost of money for them. You know what I'm saying? They could have been put a camera on the phone, but if they did that then, They wouldn't be able to charge, all the money they're doing now.
So you said it's about the money.
So last year you paid $100 for yourself and I didn't have no camera. So now I got a camera, so now you're paying $200 for it.
Let me tell you this.
The next year your camera can work both ways. So now that's another $100.
Okay. So you say they slow rolling it out.
Yeah, they could have literally put this out in one motion. Okay, let's put this phone out with a camera.
That makes sense. That makes
You know
sense.
what I'm saying?
But check this out, right? Back when we had just left out the village, me and my boy Derek Eccles, and I never say nobody's name on here, but I want to say his name because I want him to watch this or somebody to tell him, and I want to see if he remembers this, right? We were up in we had an apartment together up in Burgess Circle, the Pit House, right? And we were blowing big weed, bro. We were up, yo, and one of us said, "Yo, man. What if we could put a calculator on the watch?" And everybody started chiming in all kind of stuff to go into that watch. Brother, I bullshit you not. 6 months to a year later, Seiko came out with that exact watch. I swear to God, man. I swear to God, right here on this show. And if Derek Eccles, if you're looking at this show, will you please confirm this? We came up with that idea, dog, off of well, we weren't smoking blunts back then. We were smoking joints of the killer, the Acapulco Gold. You know what I mean? All right, I digress, right? Okay, back to COVID. We got about another 2 minutes on this subject. Go ahead and wrap it up. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back and hit the meat of the interview. What are your thoughts on COVID? Go.
My thoughts on COVID is, number one, it's going to be here for a while. It's not going nowhere. If you live in a state where your numbers are not rising, you think you're safe, stop it. Stop it. This thing is not, it's not gone. It's not going to be gone away. There's no vaccine for it. There's not. So everybody's going to have to just chill, relax until it gets over and try to be safe.
Speak.
And the only thing I say about that, I just hope nobody I know, succumbs to that. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of a vaccine, man, you taking that vaccine when they come out?
No.
I
don't even take the flu vaccine.
I hear you, man. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take this break, man. We'll be back after these messages. All right.
Officers are the school where you perpetuate the school to prison pipeline, and I always like to focus on the fact that we need to increase our expectations of our young people. Time to listen to all of what you have to say. I vote for you, and you can't give me the courtesy on a return.
All right, we back. I think I got my timing back. I wasn't that late. Okay, so we're having a real good talk with Mr. Wayne Suge Wells, formerly of Springfield, Massachusetts. Now he's down in Florida, right? And we're not going to discuss the football team he likes because I don't like them. Let's bring Mr. Wells back in. Well, as soon as my theme song gets done. Come on in here, son. All right. Okay. So that was a good talk, man, on coronavirus, man, because that's wild. I think it's going to be with us for a long time. I really do. I think there's a method to their madness. Everybody knows what my mindset is on Facebook, so I don't have to go through all that. I think they did it on purpose and it's spraying it places, right? And so we kind of agree on the wrong thing, on the same thing. But we're going to move forward to present day activities like this. I mean, COVID came and silenced everything in the world but racism, and then racism whooped COVID in behind, and now racism is in the forefront. All right, so now we got these marches and these protests, right, that are happening all the way around the country. I'm trying to put some pictures up here that are happening all the way around the country, right? I mean, everywhere. But you know what blew my mind, man? What blew my mind, man, is that these dudes, this thing has went worldwide. I mean, worldwide, right? That's crazy to me. What are your thoughts on that? What did you think when you saw them over there in Sweden, of all places, man? Sweden, what they got to do with anything?
I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked. I was pleasantly surprised. It's about time. It's about time. Racism is not a United States thing. It's a world thing. It's racism all over the goddamn country, all over the world right now. So it's not confined to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
The United States is just more open with it now. So to see other countries and take interest in what's going on here, yeah, that felt kind of good. You know what I mean?
Do you remember the protests and the riots we had? You would have been a youngster, younger than me. My first one that I was in Springfield, man, I think I was about 6 or 7, and I snuck out the house and rolled with my cousins, and they just tore the square up. You know what I mean? And all that, man. That was my first taste to activism or stuff like that. Do you remember those in Springfield?
No.
Well,
no, not at all.
Well, I'm going to tell you, man. Go ahead.
I am like 2 years younger than you, so I don't remember that at all. And I don't think, growing up at that time, I don't think my mom would let me be involved with that.
My mother wasn't well with me going out there for good reason, right? You know what I mean? But I remember, man, I'm just walking around, I'm looking at everybody. Wow, why they do that? Wow, but I felt somewhere inside of me that they wasn't doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? I don't know why I felt that, but I did, and I can't explain it. Right?
I mean, I don't really think that they're wrong. Stores, places get looted, they always saying we burn our own stuff down. And you're really thinking, we're not burning our own stuff down. Some places are owned by Koreans and everybody else.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you said that. Because
you burned down a store that's, close to your house. Yeah, it's convenient, but it's not ours.
Not at all.
So there ain't too many liquor stores that we own. There ain't too many pawn shops that we own. There ain't too many hair shops that we own.
Mm-hmm.
We're out there, but those not the places that are being burned down.
You're right.
So, and besides, it seems like the only way to catch their attention is
man, I thought we were going to disagree on a lot of points, and we don't. You know what I mean? Because I'm like right here. You know what I mean? We're like eye to eye on this thing, man. I'm like, what do you mean they're tearing up their own stuff? They don't own nothing in that hood, right? The stores are Indian, Arab or whatever, man. You know what I mean? Houses are owned by the white man out somewhere, I mean, very few Negroes own their own houses, and Negroes that can afford houses usually jet out there with the white people. You know what I mean? So who owns what in the hood? Now, I'm a firm believer that when you get well-to-do or get that money, man, like Nipsey Hussle, man, buy up the hood. This is where we live. Let's redo it. But people want to get away from us. We want to get away from us, man. Unity comes to mind because during those the riots I was talking about, the only thing that they were screaming was UNITY before Latifah sang it. I believe that's where she got it from. You know what I mean? But it was unity and brother, was the call of the day. What do you think the mindset is today?
The mindset?
Yeah.
Excuse me, say it again, mindset on what?
Today. What is the general mindset with black people as far as what's going on in each other?
Well, I mean, it's really hard to say because, I hate to say it, but, my people our attention is diverted so easily these days
that was a soft way to say it.
Like, for instance, all the stuff going on, Facebook is the perfect example of our attention being diverted how easily we are diverted as a people. Trump trying to send our kids back to school, trying to force government to Facebook to the kids back to school. And then, people are angry about it on Facebook. Like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they're all angry about it.
Right.
All of a sudden, Will and Jada come out talking about
Look, man.
We're not mad no more. We're not concerned about this no more.
Yeah.
So are we taking a break? We taking a time out from that? Now we're going to worry about Will and Jada.
Or Kanye.
Yeah. Kanye, well, I don't even want to talk about Kanye. I don't even want to talk about Kanye.
But man, I had to address that on Facebook because there were some people on my stream, man, that were actually buying that Kool-Aid, man. I'm like, come on, you're smarter than that. Come on. But they happen to turn out to be Kanye fans. So I guess it's easy when you're a fan, right? But yeah, no, he's not ready. He's not ready. Like that saying used to go, man. Okay, so George Floyd, 8 minutes and 46 or 43 seconds? I can't remember. Right? Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts, man. When you saw that, what were you thinking? What were you feeling?
To be honest with you, I was disturbed. I was disturbed about one thing about that whole video. Not the fact that they killed him, because that's been done before.
Right.
It's been done before. That's the first time a black man was killed. What disturbed me most about that was the cop that had his knee on his neck. Now, there are about 5, 6, 7 people filming this. And this man had his knee on this man's neck. He had his hands in his pocket.
Boom!
And he looked at the camera like, yeah, so what?
A smirk. He had a smirk on his face. You know what I mean?
Like it was nothing. It was nothing for him to do that. And that disturbed me the most. And I'm like, he had no intention of letting this man up.
No. And I'll tell you, I agree with you on the part, man, because what jumped out at me was all that. But what jumped out at me is, man, this still got his hands in his pocket? Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a telltale sign to me. That's like, this is everyday thing. We don't care. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's exactly how I felt, It was like, it's like he's done this before.
Yeah.
It's like a basketball player. You see a basketball player, he'll walk down the street, bouncing the ball without even looking at it. And that's exactly what this man did.
Exactly.
That's
a good observation. That's a good observation.
Yeah, he had his knee on his man's neck like it was nothing to him.
That's crazy, man.
Like second day. Yeah.
So after that, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, right, the world went ballistic. Okay, and we sort of jumped the gun about the looting and whatnot, but now they're looting and whatnot. But because of technology, the alien technology that I talk about, right? But we see that the aggression, right? And I said this in one of my videos, was done by white people, infiltrators, trying to make us look bad and this, that, and the other. But it worked against them. What are the odds of that? Because without that violence, I don't think we'd be here right now.
Right. You know, the whole looting and rioting and stuff, I mean, they came out, Black Lives Matter came out to the protests. They came out to the protest. They came out to the yell. They came out to the shout. They came out to do all that. They came out to demand justice. They did all that. If you look at them videos, you see the white folks running around with hammers, smashing windows, throwing cocktails. You know, excuse me. You know, I'm not trying to make the racial thing either, but how many black dudes over history you know have been throwing cocktails anywhere? Who make cocktails? All time. I don't ever know like that.
You're a better man than me because I'm going to make it about race because in my mind it is. It is because of all the subversive activity that's going on, Trump running his mouth, other Republicans and GOP members that are echoing what he's saying and they have their own racist thoughts, right? And the fact of the matter of this, right? Within a matter of months of its creation, they deemed Black Lives Matter, the BLM, to be a hate organization. And they have yet to put that on the KKK that's been in existence for decades and have blood on their hands when Black Lives Matter don't have one death on their hand yet. Comment on that, man. What do you think about that?
Everybody knows that. Come on, they should have been smashing KKK. If the terrorists they should have they should have smashed the KKK at the same time they smashed the Black Panthers. You know?
Right away.
You know, the Black,
go ahead. I agree with you. I said right away. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, it should have been a joint effort. You know, let's kill the Klan and let's kill the Black Panthers. You know, not let's destroy these guys who are legally carrying guns out there. They're not wearing hoods. They're not wearing masks. They're not stringing people up. You know, they're feeding their community. They're educating their community. They're, doing all this stuff. These guys are just out here because they don't like to hurt people and they're stringing them up at random.
So now, okay.
Yeah.
Not.
And they're not even brave enough. They're not even brave enough to take off the hood.
Yeah, because you'll find out that they're your congressman. They're the clerk at the store. It's probably your friend next door. You never know about these dudes. But what was that? Oh yeah. Everybody's freaking out about the secret police, right? They're just now reporting on it. No, man, these guys were in Washington at the Washington protest. That's where they first showed up. That was only 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? But yet everybody's acting like, all right, where they come from? Dude, this isn't their first appearance.
Right. You know, that whole race, and I'm going to say, that whole race, and there's other things I want to add to that. I don't know if I should or not. But one of the things I do know is that race, the white race here in America, they're all about hide. They hide. They hide their identity. They hide behind badges. They hide behind politics. They hide behind money. They do all that stuff. They hide, and they're scared to come out and to be confronted because without all that stuff they hide behind, they're nobody. They're nobody. You take David Duke. David Duke, the so-called Grand Wizard of the KKK.
He ain't dead yet.
That man, you put him in the hood, and you all your shots that you want to say. What's gonna happen? He's gonna get his ass whooped.
Well, did you see the video of the white dude? I guess he was a store owner, right? And protesters coming through. You got all these protesters coming through, and he got his John Wayne hat on and walked out. Now, first it was reported that he had like a rifle. The second report was he had a machete. I don't give a F what he had, right? Everything in his store is insured. He can replace it. But the weapon that he had was going to end somebody's life, and you can't replace that. First, comment on that mentality or mindset, and then the fact that when the protesters saw him, they twisted him. And then I'm going to say something after that our people said about that. But talk about that for a second, if you saw the video.
The only video I saw, I remember the one about the husband and wife when the protesters walked by. That's the one you referred to?
No. They didn't get twisted. When I say twisted, I mean this dude ended up, they bum rushed him, right? He didn't have a chance to do a damn thing. They bum rushed him. You could hear bones breaking. And then when the crowd dispersed, it was like a cartoon, man. This dude was like a pretzel. And he could not move. The only thing he was there was saying, oh shit. That's all he could do. He could not move. Now, some of the protesters came back and were helping him out,
Right.
But he got twisted, man. And that didn't have to happen. But, Black Lives Matter would be blamed for that when it was total self-defense. This guy was about ready to shoot somebody or slice somebody. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But,
I mean, it's stuff like that, the fact that dude even had a gun like that, what do you need it for?
like I said.
You shouldn't even have a gun like that. That's and I always said, I heard it over and over again, AR-15s and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, AK-47s. Those are weapons of war. Those are weapons of war.
Yes, sir.
That's not weapons of own defense. Those weapons of war. If you're gonna kill with that, a squirrel in your backyard, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't, the thing about it, and we talk about a lot in my house, we talk about privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what it is. Everything, all this racism and all that stuff is all about privilege. Because they still have the right and the privilege. They feel they got rights that they don't have.
Right.
They feel like they have rights that they don't have. You know what I'm saying? And they don't, for years, they don't look at us in that same way. We ain't supposed to have no rights. We ain't supposed to have this. We supposed to do what we told. For years we worked, like they say, we worked in the slave fields all these years and being beaten, killed, raped, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as we gained our freedom, our so-called freedom from them, from slavery, what they say about us? Oh, black people are lazy and just want handouts.
See, this is what I always say about that, right? After the so-called slaves were released and whatnot, right? First, you don't hire us because we're black, and then you run around talking about we're lazy and we don't want to work. You can't have it both ways, man. I mean, and then when we made our own, you came and destroyed it because it was more prosperous than yours. Because the reason they did attack Rosewood and Tulsa, which I just found out were two different places. I always thought they were the same thing, right? Is because that Europe and France wanted to do export business with them in preference over the white demographic. That was the fuel for that fire. You know what I mean? Once again, economics.
It's about, it always says, I always say it's about superiority. It's just that whole race thinks that they're smarter than everybody else. We're not smart enough to do things like they do.
Oh, their ice is colder?
We're not smart enough to be CEOs. We're not smart enough to be doctors. They want us on TV singing and dancing and carrying on, playing basketball.
That's it.
They don't want doctors. They don't want lawyers. They don't want, they don't even want us being cops for that matter.
Well, see, that speaks to this point, man, because 2 or 3 years ago, right before all this hell broke out, right, some of our population, our demographic, are saying, don't fight them, just go vote and then go to school and get an education. Well, okay, we can do all that, but they're still killing those niggas too. Wait, don't kill me because I'm educated. They look for educated niggas to kill, man.
Oh yeah, we'll put them behind bars.
Yes, that's a bigger threat than the average street Negro.
It was like back in the day, the whole, on that platform, read it right. They didn't want us to read it right because they didn't want us to know what they put that Constitution.
You know what somebody said to me?
I'm sorry, they didn't want us to know that we were being excluded from that legendary Constitution. It didn't include us.
It didn't. We were 3/5 of a person, man, almost an animal. I don't even know if we were high or equal to an animal, right? But the guy said, the Don Teal, the guy I was interviewing, he said, and it shocked me because I didn't look at it this way, but he's right. He said they didn't teach us the English language. We heard it, and we mimicked it. And he said that's where Ebonics came from. That blew my mind. Now that makes total sense. That makes total sense because when you look at the other immigrants that come over, they speak broken English, right? That's a form of Ebonics for them. Same difference.
Right.
But they're being formally taught. So we come over here against our will. We had to lose all our we had to lose all our language and history and this and that and the other. And then we had to turn around and learn theirs. So when Obama became president, I thought to myself, we've come full circle. We had to master and learn your language. We had to master and learn your societal standards. We had to master and learn your political affiliations and how to flow in your political arena. And now we have reached the freaking top. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. But, Obama, the thing with Obama, too, when Obama got elected, this is the fact that we took that whole race by off guard.
Say that again?
Because we took the whole race off guard. We took white people off guard.
Okay.
Because when Obama started elected, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of white people sitting back, oh, he's never going to get elected. Nobody's going to put a black man in the office. They didn't worry about it. They didn't worry about it. But what happened? Black folks came out like we came out to see Black Panther. They raised it.
You see?
And by time election was done, they couldn't do nothing about it.
You see, you just said an Eddie Murphy joke. Eddie Murphy said that joke years ago, right? But I was one of the people that said, I'm going to vote for him, but he ain't going to win. They ain't going to elect no black president. And like Eddie Murphy said at the end of the joke, I just woke up the next, he fucking won? Woo! Huh?
It's the truth, Like I said, we threw them off guard. So what happened when Trump starts running? They did the same thing we did.
I know I did.
They did the same thing we did.
Oh, man.
And the thing about it, and the only reason why Trump won, because there was enough black people to believe all that bullshit about Hillary Clinton that, fuck it, I ain't voting for Hillary. Why not? Now, because you didn't vote for Hillary, look who's in office now.
I know that happened. I know that happened, but I don't think that's why he won, right? And I'm gonna give you my conspiracy theory because see, I'm a firm believer in the collusion. I think they colluded. I think he's Putin's boy because years ago when we were kids, right? I keep saying Brezhnev, but he wasn't the Russian president. Brezhnev it was the one before Khrushchev. It was Khrushchev that said at that time America would be destroyed from the inside, and then they devised a plan. And that plan was based on a high official as a patsy. Well, they got the gold when they got Trump in there. He's their patsy. Everything he does, is like he's trying to please or following Putin's orders. This is what I see. I see that he firmly colluded. I see that he firmly committed treason, and it's right blatant in front of our eyes, and we just won't acknowledge it. You know what I mean? And now I went on that tangent. I forgot what I was going to speak to. Because I just got mad. I just got mad, man. I forgot what you said. What?
I know, everything, everything comes down, the voting thing is really big, and all thing we got to do now, we got to teach the black folks that there's more to vote than just vote for the people.
Oh. Yeah, it just hit me. It just hit.
The government is following laws that were written 250 years ago.
Huh? Speak up.
The government is still following laws that was written 200 years ago.
Slavery ain't never came off the books. It's still there.
Yeah, 200 years ago, you like that whole thing about Trump sending about the protest, sending the military in to control the situation. That's a law that was written in 1807.
He's trying to use it.
230. That law should be revised 100 years ago.
Now, what does that tell you?
The whole thing about the police department and the police and everything. Laws, they protect the police. They protect the police. There's laws against, protecting the police. But now they need to change those laws. Now we need to hold them accountable.
Now,
Not just protect.
now, what does that? What does that tell you? What does that tell you about their mindset? Because we know Trump don't read a damn thing. We know Trump is stupid as an apple sitting on a table, right? So he ain't do no research and didn't know that law exists. Somebody went and found it. What does that tell you, man, about the administration, right? That speaks volumes to me, man.
No, to be honest with you, Republicans. If you're in the Republican Party right now, literally, you should be embarrassed.
I don't know.
You should be.
You know why I say that? You know why I say that? Is because think about it. Before Trump was elected, when they were obstructing Obama, they had a less than 13% approval rating, and they came back and won. How?
Yes. We all know there's manipulations going out there. All kinds of stuff. Close the polls. All kinds of stuff.
Gentrification.
I still go back to say that as a member of the Republican Party, you should be embarrassed by the man who's representing you.
They're still protecting. Hey man, we got 2 minutes, right? We got 2 minutes left. I want you to go ahead and use that time to sum up and summarize your opinion on one or the other or both topics, COVID or the George Floyd protest. Let us know your summary, how you feel, and then we're going to get at this thing when the panel discussion starts. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to sum up George Floyd, the whole thing like this, about the protesters, what the protesters doing and who's doing what. All you have to do is watch a video and open your damn eyes, and you'll see who's doing what. You'll see who's doing what. It's right there in front of our face. Our own technology, technology is what's going to do them in. It's what's doing them in. So just watch it. I mean, come on, people. I know half my friends on my Facebook are not stupid. I'm not stupid. We know what's going on. It's time to speak up. It's time to hold accountability. And if that don't work, please, I'm all for it. Shoot back. Shoot back.
There you go, brother. That's it. Okay. All right, there you have it, people. All right, that's Mr. Wayne Suge Wells, all the way from what part of Florida, brother? He's down there, Palm Beach, Florida, man, home of the sunshine and all that. All right, we're gonna have another guest next week. We're gonna bring Landon Till back probably Wednesday, but I think Jack Johnson is coming our way next week, and we look forward to hearing from him. All right, I'm Nate Patterson, and this has been Express Yourself. Express yourself. Deuces.
Here's our music serving you some music. Papa got a brand new song. Kick down, body for your right. Let's get it on. Like we said before, single brothers for the trouble, hate the busted bubble, cause we rumble from our lower level to condition your condition.